Peace, love, and light, folks. Hey, man, my content is for educational purposes only. Can't stress enough for y'all to do your own research. Appraise my content. Any errors you find, throw it in the comments. I'll address it. None of us have been alive long enough to know all that transpired in the past, and none of us can live long enough to know all there is to learn. However, I think it's time, you know, for us to start taking our power back. You know, what do you mean by that, Malik? Well, let me get into it. Based on my observation and the way I look at things and see things, excuse me, I feel like it's time, man, that I did this video. And this video is basically, going to be labeled, "It's time to take our power back." What I mean by that is, Dr. Phil Valentine, in one of his lectures, stated the following. I'm going to paraphrase it, but it went something slick like this. Whatever you give your power to, no, whatever you put your attention towards, your attention is basically whatever you put your attention on or in has power. So, to delve into that a little deeper, and, off the rip, this ain't gonna resonate with everybody. So once I get into this, if you feel like this ain't for you, go ahead and click off. It is what it is. But when I take a look at society and my immediate surroundings, I see and I used to be just like what I'm about to describe. So, matter of fact, let me put the focus on me. I remember it was a time not so long ago where all my attention, 95% of my attention, was fixated on going to work, getting at that bag. So for a long time, my job had a lot of power over me. And there's nothing wrong, and don't get it misconstrued. I'm not saying that having a job is bad or it's not good to have a job. We all got families, and bills to tend to, But I'm stepping outside of that, construct for a second. When it comes to this video, and to relate where I'm coming from with this, like I said, my observations, the way I see things is, man, we've given all of our power to corporations, corporate entities, corporate constructs, and what I see coming down the line, and it's already started, and a lot of these corporations have already started it, and that's automation. And another thing I'm going to say before I get into it all is that whoever you give the power to feed you, you also give the power to starve you. I, for one, personally, ain't never been about, putting my power in somebody else's hands or taking a back seat, to rely and depend on somebody else to do me like I would do myself. So, what I'm saying to y'all is, man, start, I think it's a good idea, for us to start investing in ourselves, tapping into whatever, gifts and or talents that we have, because we all have them. It's just that some of us don't pay enough attention to ourselves, or we neglect ourselves based on being preoccupied with the external existence of our world on an individual level. Problem with that is, man, I don't think that these companies and corporations value us enough to the point whereas in the next, who knows, however many years, because it's already started, AI, automation, you go in certain supermarkets, you got to check your own shit out. They done took 15, 20 jobs, from people that's already, in what's declared lower class society. Then on top of that, due to the rate of inflation, the dollar ain't shit no more. You got 1-bedroom apartments, going for over $1,000. And it ain't getting no better. Gas prices are sky high. They could have been off the gas, but they made so much money, that it wasn't conducive for them to use the technology that they already knew about. And we talking 5, 6, 7 decades ago, if not more. It's just this video, man, is just to bring light to those who may not know that, Kanye was right like a motherfucker, man. Shout out to Yeezy. When he said that the president don't care about black people. The thing is that the reality is far beyond that. It ain't just towards us. Yeah, we at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to that type of statement, but it's not just, singled out for us. Told y'all, man, it's about rich and poor. And I've also spoke about classism. They used to need, and to a degree, one degree or another, they still do need a working class, but for how long? Because everybody that is able to have not computers, but machines, do one machine do the job of 20 humans, how much longer do you think it's going to last? All you got to do is look at history, man. Look how many jobs they done already took from us, the NAFTA deal and all that. They outsourcing work that could be right here in the USA, across seas for slave labor, and wages. then get them here and mark them up 200, 300%. We got to start learning, man, about this business process, man. This process of business. I'm going to take it further, man, because it's basically about commerce. Commerce, man, is what's ruling the world right now. And I think it's time, and that's what this video is about. I think it's time that we, learn the rules of the game and start playing by the rules. And don't get me wrong, for those of us that still have to work, man, listen, salute. Do what you got to do until you can do what you want. I used to say the same shit when I was in the game. Starting off with a 16th, 2-3 weeks later, you got 4.5. And depending on how far back you want to go, it didn't take even that long. You dig? At all. But I'm past that, and I ain't even focused or fixated on that. I'm the challenge is breaking into the corporate game, the commerce game. So let me start by giving you guys an analogy that I got from Earl Nightingale. I mentioned him before on some videos. I just, gave an associate of mine today the same analogy, man. And it's worked wonders for me. It's allowed me to, create quite a few things, for myself. And that analogy goes as follows, man. First of all, man, figure out for yourself, man, if you're under the age of 65, what do you want to be worth? Excuse me. By the time you reach the age of 65. The second thing would be start getting up an hour earlier and utilize that hour to sit at your coffee table or wherever your office or whatever the case, with a blank sheet of paper. You in the coffee, get your coffee. You in the tea, get your tea. Whatever you like to drink in the morning, go on, tighten up, and sit down at your desk or wherever you're going to post up at with a blank sheet of paper. At the top of that sheet of paper, put your life's ultimate goal, i.e. what you want to be worth by the time you turn 65. And underneath of that, you try to come up with, 20 goals. Or however many plans you can come up with to take you from where you at to where that number is. And if you just do that from Monday through Friday for a year, let's use that as an analogy to fit the analogy. You do that Monday through Friday for a year's time, that gives you 6.5 extra 40-hour work weeks. Just to think. And that's not even including weekends. So the next part of the analogy is look at the law of averages. You're going to come up with a lot of ideas that ain't going to amount to shit. And you're going to come up with another portion of ideas that's going to be decent. Then you're going to come up with some more that's going to be nice. Then you're going to come up with a few that's going to be the ones that can take you from rags to riches. Smooth out the rat race. Because see, the other side of the coin is, and mind y'all, I'm speaking the way I'm speaking because I come from, just like a lot of us, I come from the streets, man. I was, up until really 2013, I was responsible for making sure the money came up right. Making sure the money got allocated for the bills, the youngins had what they need, I had money to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, whatever I liked to do, buy what I wanted to buy, and still had plenty to re-up with. So the safety and security of a job has never been firmly implanted in me. And another thing that kind of like pushed me, because I was already feeling that way, but when I seen that Dame, shout out to Dame Dash, man. I gotta salute that brother, man. Motherfuckers was caught up in him and the whole shit, man. Fuck all of that. I'm saying on some real shit. He about his work. You ain't got to like the nigga. He don't give a fuck if you like him or not. And I don't give a fuck who like me or not. And y'all shouldn't give a fuck who like y'all or not. That ain't what the fuck you here for. That ain't what you here for. If you focused on that, you already on the wrong route. But the shit that he said in that Breakfast Club, interview, and it's a few other interviews that he had that I seen, and I posted them on my page, on my Facebook page. But the shit make a lot of sense, man. It make all the sense in the world. Cause I don't take, at one point in time before I woke up, I used to take pride in being a longshoreman. ILA this, ILA that, trying to get all my partners, all the folk that I knew, that I ran the streets with and was in the penitentiary with, to come on down. Because I wanted them to experience the shit that I experienced. Because, prior to 2010, which is when I first started going down there, getting my feet wet, you couldn't pay me to believe that I would have been able to do the shit that I did without street money. You couldn't have paid me no amount. I was actually scared to make the transition because I didn't know what was going to be on the other side. And I'm saying all this shit to y'all. Just like I told my associate earlier, man, there's quite a few of the cats that, when I was in the streets, we was on the block, we was operating off, it was quite a few of them that I assumed or surmised that they were doing better than me, just based off the surface look. Who knows? But it ain't important. But at the end of the day, we was all out there doing what we was doing, and we was all seeing success. So my thing is, the path I chose to take allowed me to see even more success. And all I did was take the same ambition, determination, dedication, self-application, and inner will that I had and was exemplifying in the streets to get my money. I took it down there. That's all I did. That's all I did, man. So my thing was, shit, what the fuck what the fuck is so different about me? If I can do it, any of y'all can do it. And that was what was behind the campaigns I went on. And I say campaigns because that's how I did it. I went for months and months and months on end. Everybody I ran across that I knew, I tried to, persuade them to come get their TWIC card and come and get at that grown people money. Which is what I felt like grown people money was at the time, based off of not having to look out for the police and, tuck hammers and, all that old shit that we, y'all know the game. I ain't got to break it down. And about a dozen or so cats came, and they all seeing success now in their own right and respect. But another thing I'm gonna tell y'all, man, is something that I've observed just about life in general, man, is that it's a continual unfolding, and it's ever changing. This is why it makes sense to me why I always you know, and I'm an air sign. So, on top of that, it all makes sense now when I started, getting into myself. Excuse me. Researching astrology and vibration, energy, and frequency, and shit like that. You know, it all made sense why, I was always, one to just, I'd be moving on this one path and then I just change directions, without, you know, without, no, without no signs or signals. I just change directions and start doing something else. You know, but more so than ever, man, I feel like it's very, very important, man, for us to take a look at investing in ourselves, man, and leveling up, man. And when I say that, man, it's deeper than just the money aspect. I mean that on all across the board levels. Stop being so petty amongst each other, man. And start, whatever you innately good at, whatever you can do well without much effort, very little to none. You know, find a way to scale and monetize that. You know, find a way to scale and monetize it, man. And, and then start practicing group economics, man. Because we've been giving our money away to motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about us for too long. And it's so fucked up that we actually take pride in it. A lot of us. If the shoe don't fit, don't put it on your feet. But at the end of the day, y'all know it's real shit I'm talking. We run to a Gucci store or whatever the case. We may even publicize it, put it on, social media and show motherfuckers how we, stunting or balling out on a situation or other folk that's, in the struggle trying to escape it just like we are, which don't make no goddamn sense, but that's the type shit we do, But see, and again, that's not a knock to nobody. It's just, again, man, people don't understand, man. You got, MK Ultra, you got all kinds of different governmental programs that they, erected and ran on the people. Mind control, they put all types of symbolism and color schemes. See, it's a lot of stuff that they don't teach us that they utilizing, man, to get us to spend our money. Everybody like flash and cash, man. Who don't? But it's, when you take it out of the moderation phase and, you overly indulge in it, man, too much of anything ain't no good. Now it's done gotten out of hand, whereas though, and it's been out of hand, you know what I mean? But at what point do we recognize it and take a step back and look at ourselves and realize what we're doing? I've said it multiple times before, man. Look at us on the world stage, man. Because on the world stage, man, we the joke. We the joke. We got more motherfuckers running around, chest poked out, and we don't own shit. It's and it's quite a few of us that's doing good on the independent level, man. But it's this is my opinion, y'all. I know everybody got one, but I'm just sharing mine. Again, man, we got to be able to get together, man, get along. You know what I mean? Enough to, better our condition. If not for ourselves, then for, a lot of us have children. All of us have families. Come on, man. And like Dad said, you can't tell your child well, you need to come and learn the business because I'm about to fall back and it's going to be yours. You know, you can't do that. You furthering somebody else's motherfucking legacy at the expense of your own. You pour all your life's energy into a motherfucking job, you ain't got no time for you. Have you paid attention to how people live once they retire? You know, it ain't a whole lot of them that's doing well. Only those that have, you know, done what I'm saying now, invested in themselves on one level or another. You know, and they got something aside from whatever the government's been given to sustain self. You know, and you know, I'm not trying to make it seem like it's all bad, you know, to work at a job and retire and, you know, collect, you know, Social Security and all that shit. I ain't saying that. But what I am saying is, man, if you look at the larger scheme of things and the way shit is coming down and the direction that shit is headed in, man, y'all keep forgetting, man, that the government is a corporation, man. It's a company, man. What if they decide to shut down? You know, it's a whole bunch of shit, man. You know, that's way more important than this money. You know, not to say that it doesn't have importance, you know, but it don't have the kind of importance that we put on it. It's so bad, man, that motherfuckers value the money more than people now. I mean, it's always been that way, but just not as pronounced as it is now. You know, and you know, at what point do we take a look at ourselves and instead of taking what motherfucker want to give us, decide to take what we want? Even if you got to partner up with an individual or two, and y'all put y'all money together, man. I gave an example of that. I told you I got a coworker, you know what I mean, that's doing that with a few of his, you know, close friends and associates and family, you know, and it's working well for him. And he's still working a job. You dig what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with working a job, man, but we just having a job ain't it no more. We got to do more. We got to start thinking beyond that of an average man or a woman and start the best way to predict your future is to create it. We got to start, you know, being, you know, pivotal in our future, man, as opposed to leaving it at, at the discretion of a job, a company or a corporation, man. You know, and this is just something, man, that I've been putting off. I don't know why, but I put it off for a while. But the more I observe and analyze things, you know, it just, it was time for me to put it out, man. I see it on a regular basis, man. These companies don't give a fuck about none of us. No more than, I need these motherfuckers to do this work so I can keep my leverage going for me. You know, 200, 300, 400, 500 motherfucking hands, sets of hands doing this work so I can stay wealthy, you know. You know, that's capitalism, you know, but at the end of the day, man, you know, it's just so much, man. It's so much. I'm great. You know, I don't want to go off topic and start talking about something else, man, but like just to bring it home, man, because I don't want to, you know, drag on with it. Invest in yourself, man. Don't go to work for another motherfucker and leave it all on the field. When you come home, you ain't got no time to make no plans or invest in none of the plans that you may already have for yourself. You know, what none of us, didn't none of us incarnate into these bodies to work all our life for another motherfucker. And if you know the etymology behind worship, it's work for. So if you work for a motherfucker, you worship a motherfucker. You know, linguistically so. So you know, it's I don't want to like I said, I don't want to drag it out no further than it need to be. But that's just something, man. I wanted to implant on your minds, and give you something to think about, man. Because there's plenty of y'all that's talented, that's good at multiple things, you know, but you deal with it like a hobby as opposed to scaling and monetizing it, you know. Because I know me. Let me get back on me. I want to be able to enjoy life. I don't want to, I didn't shit for 8, 9 years straight, man. I bust my ass. I'm talking about, day in and day out. So much so I didn't even have a fucking social life. You know? And it's more to life than just money, man. And nobody has to share that ideology with me, but is what it is, man. That's just, something I wanted to share with y'all, man. So hopefully, somebody felt it, you know, hopefully it sparked, some ambition in somebody, or reminded somebody of something that they could be scaling and monetizing, as opposed to, just, well, this is just something I do on the side. I ain't really, nah. Shoot your shot with it, And I know it's fucked up on one level or another because a lot of us don't support us. It's so fucked up, man. Like, some shit just got to change, man. And if the people that you rocking with ain't willing to support you, man, then fuck them. It's other people in the world. There's billions of people in the world, man. And that's another point I want to make. It's not the world spacious enough for you to migrate therein. Motherfuckers and where you at ain't willing to support you, and they, downplaying all of your accomplishments and what you do and all that. You probably go somewhere else, and the people that don't know you worth a fuck, don't know you from a can of paint, will probably praise you and support you, doing the same shit that motherfuckers is sidestepping and trying to undercut your prices and downplay your accomplishments for. You ain't got to, it's a way. If it ain't working here, go over there. If it ain't working this way, try it that way. When I say, if you fall 9 times, be willing to get up 10, that encompasses a lot, man. You put years in at a job, and you see that they don't value you, they don't appreciate what you bring to the table. Fuck that job. Go do something else. And with that, man, I'm gonna go on and sign off, man. Out.